You need an ID to have a baby, Maria.
No, no, you don't. You could just have a baby. You could just literally have a baby. Katie Miller, you are so bad. You are so uniquely bad at this. Somehow you convince your husband every now and then to let you out of the breeding dungeon, out on the military compound that you were ostracized to. And you go out on these talk shows where you trot out the most bad faith arguments and the silliest, most fallacious little analogies that I'm sure they do your dear leader more harm than good. They break down on the slightest of probing. So let's go ahead and probe. First of all, what is the problem that we're solving for, and where's the evidence of the magnitude of that problem?
There's mass amounts of cheating in our elections. Just because there's an engineered lack of data does not mean there isn't data to the contrary.
Mass amounts of cheating, and your evidence is just because there isn't evidence doesn't mean there's not evidence. You claim that there's an engineered lack of evidence, but again, failed to provide evidence for that engineering. Okay, let's say that we're not solving for widespread voter fraud. That's not the problem we're solving for. We're solving for the optics of widespread voter fraud, for the people to have more faith in our elections, because so many people believe that there is widespread voter fraud despite the fact that there is no evidence. So the problem that we're solving for is the optics of it. Let's assess what is the actual impact. Does the benefit of solving for the optics of widespread voter fraud outweigh the cost of the SAVE Act? Well, the cost of the SAVE Act is that millions of people would be disenfranchised. They would have to pay money to get new documents that they don't have access to demonstrate that they have citizenship. So the actual cost of the SAVE Act is way higher than the benefit, because our problem, our societal problem, is not that there is widespread voter fraud. It's that there is a lack of civic participation. And putting up more barriers to even further inhibit that civic participation is exacerbating our problem. It's not making the problem better. And the optics of it all, that's not going to go away, because we have a leader and a party who will consistently say that something is wrong with the way our elections are run, even if the SAVE Act were to pass, which it won't, because they don't want it to pass, because they want to be able to point to it later when the Democrats win in November and say, see, we told you we needed the SAVE Act. You know what, Katie Miller, I really appreciate you stepping out of your Goblins breeding pod, because your unique inability to articulate whatever it is you're advocating for makes it really easy for us to see how stupid the SAVE Act is.